Alright, so I wanted to show you an example of how to do square foot gardening. So I have 1 square foot here that has nothing in it. It's next to a tomato, and since it's next to the tomatoes and there's a trellis support system, I wanted to put something here that would trellis. So I'm using sugar snap peas. It was kind of last minute. I probably would have got it maybe a different variety, maybe an organic variety, but it's all good. It's going to be way more organic than any commercially grown with pesticides and all that junk on it, so it's going to be better anyways. Alright, so how it works is you have a square foot and you can plant more in here, and that's in another video, because of the soil system, the irrigation system, and the lack of weeds that steal the nutrients from the plant, so you can plant differently. So how it works is, this says sow to a depth of 2 inches, thin to 6 inches, harvest in 70 days. So it says sow in average soil in full sun. We have full sun right now. In late summer for a full crop, sow seeds 2 inches apart in double rows. So they want you to sow 2 inches apart. Now here's where the traditional garden wastes seeds, because what you would normally do is you would sow this 2 inches apart, then when these get 4 inches tall or whatever the package says, you thin them to 6 inches. So if you plant this whole thing, every other pea you're going to be yanking out, and that's food that's just wasting. So in the square foot gardening, there is no thinning, so you never waste a seed. That's what's cool about it. So how you do it is you use the thin number. You don't do the 2 inches apart. You find where you thin it to, and that's the number you go by, 6 inches. And then there's a little formula to use. And then there's sort of 2 different formulas, because if you're trellising, it's a little different. Sorry, I just saw the strawberries. So what we're going to do is, you have a grid. The whole bed is a grid, and then how you plant is you break it down to even further grids. So tomatoes is 1 per grid, but you get like lettuce over here, and for instance this lettuce is 4 to a grid. So you draw a line there, and you have grid, square, 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 and you plant in there. This one's the same way. You draw a line down the middle, down there, 1, 2, 3, 4. And some of them are 6. This one right here is 6. So you'll see it's got a line here, and 2 lines like that. So it actually forms 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 lettuce right here. So you can see how you can grow more. Alright, so what we're going to do is, to plant these, we're going to draw a grid, and because we're trellising it, we're going to plant 4 beans. I'm going to put 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here, and 1 here. Then as they grow, now normally with this number, sow to 6 inches, you can actually sow 2 more if it was a normal, like a lettuce. But because we're going to trellis them, we want to get them in the center so they'll hit the strings. So let's go get the tripod here. All right. So we're going to sow, sowing 4, so I just need 4 peas. And I want it 2 inches down. So now, normally you would use a pencil. A pencil is a great tool for this. In fact, when you garden with square foot gardening, you can sell all your tools. You don't need shovels and hoes, and you don't hoe, all your land and rototill. All you need for square foot gardening is pretty much a trowel and a pencil, maybe scissors. Alright, so we're going to plant that right there. And I just want you to cover it with the 2 inches. Now this is, the drip irrigation is actually on, so it's getting watered already. And it'll continue to get watered, but normally I'd advise you once you plant to water. And that's it. That's how easy it is. There was no rototilling. There was no double digging, which is common in gardens such as this. Double digging, and you can see we've already weeded here and there's still weeds. And as long as we've had this garden, we don't have one weed. So that's just some of the advantages of square foot gardening. But alright, so that's how you plant, as an example, sugar snap peas in your square foot garden.